Hello, my name is Connie Thor, and this is for week 2. So to start off, how I'll create a positive ELA environment for all my students is that I'm going to, really include all of them in the classroom. Use their names in the stories sometimes, or even just allowing them to have that interaction with other students, allowing them to really, really go in depth with their thought and how it connects to the reading. Not shutting the answer, even if it wasn't the answer I was looking for, it's still a great thought, or it's still something great that they brought up, and allowing them to practice that oral speech too, at the same time making connections to the text and their way of understanding, while slowly correcting them and leading them towards the right path that I want them to go towards. Um, and in the interaction with their peers too. When you're doing it, allow them to have A and B situation talks, or a group talk, and allow them to be the one to share out what the group thought about. And then that way, when they're sharing, they're also processing everything that their group members said, and that's how I support their understanding with the comprehensions and everything. And it's just not that. It's, when I'm doing ELA, when you're reading, you want to provide them visuals. You want to provide them maybe a video that would really help them and all those things to really grasp that, okay, this is what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. So they could be comfortable in the reading. So they're not clueless, because some students are not at the same grade level. So I want them to have kind of a preview of what it's going to be about. Explain the connection between recognizing your personal implicit bias and how that needs to be considered when planning ELA and instructions. So I don't have the best time with ELA. I struggled a lot growing up. I was an EL student. I didn't get the support I needed. During the time where I thought I was getting that support, I was always pulled out of class to go do some fluency reading tests. And I never got to receive the support I needed, because during that time, I was always pulled out. And usually it's during independent work that you get the most support at your level as the teacher or pulling small group. And I never really received that, as I was always being pulled out for something, a testing or something else. So I feel like I don't like ELA. I'm not strong in it, but however, I can't let that happen on the students, as when I need to consider that there are gonna be students who are like me in ELA, and I need to show them a basic of what we're gonna be introduced to. So give them that picture to see that this is what we're gonna be reading about, or that video. But if they're using high vocabulary words that students are not comfortable with, start with vocabulary. Start with the vocabulary, go through with the vocabulary word, kind of express how the vocabulary is used, give examples of it, and then how it reflects back to the text. Specifically, how you could use a video to show what it means, or use a video to show what the text is talking about, and then go into the text. And that would really help support students in it. And it'll also show you what materials I need to give out the student. Okay, I need the picture, I need the video. Maybe I need sentence stems for students, sentence starters. Okay, maybe I need for that for certain students, or maybe all the students. They're not using the academic language I want in ELA, so we're gonna start using it. I'm gonna demonstrate to them, and I need to prepare to demonstrate to them, or I'm not gonna demonstrate. And it just, all of those things comes in a factor. And I want to be able to recognize that I can't let my understanding of ELA, when I didn't like it as much, affect how I'm going to teach it, because it's going to show and students are going to lean towards that. So not only this, but my experience in selecting diverse texts was that it was challenging to find a text that students will be interested in, that students would like, or that students haven't already read. And when I was looking through differentiated teaching, I found holes, and I was thinking, how could I make this into a lesson that will really fit and connect? So I was thinking about it, and I realized, oh, it's kind of close to my students' socioeconomic status and their background, along with a little bit of interest, and it bring up and builds up towards that interest. A lot of it's around my students' age range. They live in the same socioeconomic status that will really show them, like, hey, it does happen, and we don't want to go towards that, to where we get to this place. And in that place, and it also teaches my students not to give up, because in that place, one of the person in the story, had zero background of education, and he started learning, and it tells my student never to give up. And it also makes it equitable, instruction, as when you're doing these things, you're showing them progression towards it. And it's even being challenged for my low level readers to read at a higher level, but still gain that interest in it, and challenges them to get up to the rigor of where they're supposed to be at. And they're being exposed to it. Even if they're not at the rigor yet, they're being exposed to it. So that's all for this week's discussion. Thank you.